Hello, Mission CISD. This is Armando Sierra, your District Instructional Technology Strategist, bringing you the most up to date trainings in the district. I am excited to present episode 5 of this series. This episode will cover how to create an online quiz through the use of a Google form and the Flubaroo add on. This will allow you to create a self grading quiz. What teacher wouldn't like that? This video is a highly requested training video that I had to remake because Google pushed out a new Google Forms app that has a lot of upgrades and I didn't want to share outdated information. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is open Google Chrome and go to drive.google.com. You should see a screen that looks like this. If it doesn't, then you need to sign in using your prefix at missioncisd.org, email, and your regular password. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is click on the new button right here. And then as you can tell, we're using Google Forms. It is not in this area here. You're going to have to click on more and then you're going to have to click on Google Forms. So that should bring you to a new Google Forms page that's going to look that's going to look exactly like this. It's very different than the way it was before. I think this is a little bit more user friendly, but still just a little confusing if this is the first time that you're actually going to edit this. So the first thing that you'll notice is up here on the left side, you have a back button, which you can actually go to the previous screen that you were at, and it'll take you to the landing page of Google Forms. And you could actually go to all your forms that you have created in here, and you can also create a new form straight from this bottom button down here. But we're going to go back and we have this open, and I'm going to go ahead and name this form to Demo Math Quiz. And then we're going to go ahead and see that it automatically updates it over here, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now if you want to go ahead and add a description to what this quiz is, we can go ahead and add a little description here. So the first thing that I always do on all my quizzes is I make sure that we have the students give me their information. So the first thing that I have them give me is their ID number. And since this is going to be a text box, they're going to go ahead and click on this right side over here. It should automatically default to multiple choice. You'll go ahead and select short answer, and that means that they're going to be able to see a text box here and they'll type in their ID number. Now I'm going to make this a required question. I go ahead and click on required and it'll turn purple. I could also duplicate this question, and so if I just hover over that little icon, it'll say duplicate, and that means it'll automatically make another question right underneath it. I can delete the question if I don't want it anymore, and then I have a little menu setting over here. It says show hint and data validation. We'll deal with data validation at a later time, but I want to go ahead and do hint text, and then I'm going to put in here make sure to use your complete ID number. Example 22 1 2 3 4 5 6, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone, and then I'm going to go ahead and add another question. So the second question is first name. And I'm going to make this a short answer question as well. It is a required question. I'm going to do a third last name. And again, same thing, short answer. And it is required as well. Now we get into the creating the quiz with the content in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and click add question. And we're just going to create a regular question. A simple question, something that they'll see on the STAR test. So what is 2 times 4? Okay, I know it's basic, but we're going to start somewhere, right? So the first thing I'm going to put on here is 2. And then if you see here, it says add option, or I could actually hit tab and then hit enter, and it'll allow me to go ahead and type in the next answer. 4. I'm going to hit tab twice and then enter one more time. 6, and then 8. The answer, 2 times 4 is 8. So we'll go down here and we're going to click on required. So make sure that's checked off. If it's not required, that means when the student turns it in that they can leave this blank, and you don't want that because then it's going to be counted wrong. If it's required, what happens is it makes them go back. It highlights that question and it makes them go back and answer that question. Even if they don't know the answer, they're going to need to choose the one that they think is correct. And so I could put in the hint, try your best, even if you do not know the answer, period. And I can also put that in the description up here as well. So it's just up to you how you want to do that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a new question in here. And we're going to go ahead and change this to linear scale. And we can say, what is 2 plus 4? And so here, just to give them in a different way, we could put 2 plus 4. We know the answer is 6. And so then we can go ahead and change it to 10. And they'll have to choose one of these 10 answers. And so whenever they choose 6, then they'll get it right. Hit required. And we're going to move on. So we could actually add images here as well. So for example, if we want to go ahead and add a image of a three oranges, okay, we can go ahead and add that image, and we'll put here as a title image 1, and then I'm actually going to create a new question, and then I'm going to put how many oranges are there. And this may be for students that are a little bit younger, okay, in the elementary schools, that they could possibly use this. And if you just hit the enter key, it'll automatically go to the next option choice on the left side when you're adding the responses. And this is a required question, and that's it. So we just created our first quiz using Google Forms. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can change the theme. So in this area right here, there's a little icon that you can click on, and you can change the theme to red, or you can change it to whatever it is that you like. I'm going to do something a little bit more masculine for me. And then we could actually click on preview, and what preview is going to do, it's going to bring up a new window, and this is what the students are going to see. And if you'll notice, anything that has this little red asterisk on it, that means the students actually have to key in that information, or they have to answer that question. And so I could already tell right now that we have everything the way we need it. Good, good, good. And image 1, we're good with that. And we have our answers, and then submit. And that's it. That's all there is to that form. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to show you the gear icon, or the settings. And if we look at this here, it says who can respond. And on default, it says anyone in Mission Consolidated Independent School District domain. And we're going to go ahead and automatically collect the respondent's username. And so what happens with that is it actually keeps the students honest. Academic dishonesty is not allowed, and we want to make sure that they do have everything in here correctly. Sometimes they won't notice that it says we're automatically collecting your email address, and that's the way we can kind of monitor whether they're cheating or not, and they're taking the quiz for someone else. And I always, for quizzes, I always select can submit only one response, because I don't want them submitting multiple responses. And then the confirmation page message for respondents, I can say, thank you for your quiz. Your grade will be emailed to you at the end of the day. And so down here it says show respondents a link to submit another response. No, we don't want that. Edit their responses. No, we don't want that either. And see summary of responses. I don't want that either. And you can always click on the little question marks and it'll give you some information on what this means. Presentation options, it says show progress bar. That'll be a progress bar at the bottom of the page, and it'll say shuffle question order. For this one, I don't want to shuffle question order because I have the ID number, first name, last name. We're going to leave it the same. So I'll go ahead and click on save, and it'll automatically save it. Now I want to go back to this question right here, which is what is 2 times 4? If you'll notice, there's the gear icon over here, and it'll say shuffle option order. That means the options here, the answers that we have inputted, will automatically shuffle for every student. So they're not going to see the same in the same order on their quizzes. It'll be different. Now the next part is actually sending the link to the students, and the way I usually do that is I click on send and it'll open this up here. It'll say automatically collect respondents Mission Consolidated Independent School District username, yes. Can submit only one time, yes. It's just telling us what we actually had in there. I'm going to go ahead and click right here. It is the URL or the link. I'm going to highlight this link. Don't do shorten URL because sometimes it doesn't allow us to open that URL shortener. So what I do is I copy this link right here. So highlight it, click copy, open up a new tab, and then I'm going to go to lsurl.me, and this is our link shortening service, and this is provided by Lightspeed Systems. They're the people who manage our internet and what we can and cannot use. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that into this area here, and I obviously didn't grab the right one, so I'm going to go back, grab the right one, and go ahead and click on shorten. And so the link that I'm going to share with the students is this link right here. Don't think that you have to go in and email each student because that's going to take a long time. You don't want to do that. So if you just click on this, copy this, go to lsurl.me, and then go ahead and take this shortened link, which is going to be lsurl.me/14p7g, and you just have that in Google Classroom, and it's going to be a lot easier for them to actually go in there and take the quiz. Now, after all the students have taken the quiz, what they're going to do is what you're going to do is, so you can see the responses, you're going to click on this tab right here that says responses, and right now no one's responded, and so it says 0 responses. But the way I want to see all the responses is by looking at the spreadsheet. And now they have this new option where you'll see all the responses come in right through here, but I don't want to see that right now. I want to go ahead and click on this little icon right here, and then I'm going to make sure I create a new spreadsheet. So wherever you created that Google form, it's automatically going to save a spreadsheet there as well. That's going to say demo math quiz and then in parentheses responses. So I'm going to go ahead and click on create, and it's going to open it up for me, and it'll show me everything the way I've inputted it into the form. So I'm going to actually go ahead and take the form or take the quiz, and we're going to do that by going to a new screen, incognito mode, and I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to sign in using one of my email addresses that I have. And here's a quiz, and it automatically says your username is this, and it will be recorded when you submit this form. If it's not you, you click sign out and they can sign in with their information. So I'm going to put 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we're going to pretend I'm Joe Johnson, or since actually what we should do is make this answer key, because we know this is going to be the answer key. I'm going to answer it correctly. What is 2 times 4? We're going to go ahead and say that that is 8. That's correct. what is 2 plus 4, and I'm going to choose 6. And then image 1, how many oranges are there? 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and you have the option of sending the responses to yourself, which it shouldn't have that option on there, but I'm going to look back at the settings in just a minute. Click submit, and this is what will show up whenever they are done submitting the quiz. Thank you for your quiz. Your grade will be emailed to you at the end of the day. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. Okay, so now we have the responses, and they're in this area. This is what they're going to look like. And when you get multiple responses, you'll start to see, what all the students are choosing for their answers. And you can go ahead and try to figure out, well, maybe the question was misleading, and then you need to go ahead and omit that one question. If you look at the spreadsheet, it'll look just like this, and it has everything, obviously, the way I answered it. So it automatically uploads in real time. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on add-ons, and we need to find an add-on which is going to be called Flubaroo. So I'm going to go ahead and click on get add-ons, and for most of you, since this is the first time you're doing it, you're going to look for Flubaroo, and it's going to be this icon right here, and it's going to say add. So just the way this one would say free, it'll have a little plus sign. This one will say plus and then free. So click on it and it'll automatically add it. And if it asks you for permission, just go ahead and allow it to do its business. So the next thing that we're going to do after you add the add-on of Flubaroo, you're going to click on add-ons again. You're going to click on Flubaroo, and then you're going to click on enable Flubaroo in this sheet. And what's happening is in the background, it's automatically doing all the calculations for us, and it's going to ask us if we want to run it. I'm going to go ahead and submit another response. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and choose some answers. So we'll go ahead and answer one of them correctly. We'll answer this one wrong, and we'll answer this one correctly. And then submit. And I just submitted it. And so automatically it gets uploaded into here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add-ons. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Flubaroo, disable auto grade. I'm done with auto grade, and it's turned off. Okay, so my suggestion is once all the students have submitted all of their work, that's when you go ahead and go in and do the grading. Don't do the auto grade like I tried doing right now because it actually messed it up. So we're going to go ahead and click on regrade assignment, and it's going to ask us again, student identifiers, yes, 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 normal grading, very good, continue. And then I'm going to choose this one, the one that says answer key, continue there. And then we're going to look at all the grades. It should automatically say grading complete once it's done doing its business. So now we have the username, we have the ID number, first name, last name, and then total points that the student got, their percentage score, and then the times they submitted it. So if you had it more than once, then it'll show all the times that it's submitted here as well. Email grade, no, not yet. One was my answer here, and then, or I got 1 point out of this here, and then it tells me the question that I got wrong, and it makes it nice and orange so that you can see the questions that they got wrong. So as you get more responses, it will automatically fill up over here in this area. This would be a great tool for exit tickets or a quiz. Any type of daily quiz would be awesome. And then once you're ready to send the grade to the student, you can go ahead and go back to add-ons, go to Flubaroo, and then click on email grades. And then it's going to ask you for a quick little answer or question, and it's going to say email address question, and that's going to be their username. Include lists of questions and scores, yes. Include answer key, yes. And then if they got a failing score, if you did not get a 70% or higher, you will need to study and take another quiz. Okay, and then, if you have any other information to give them, you can put that there as well. So hit continue, and it's going to email me that grade. And so this is the way the grade is going to actually look. So I'm going to open up my email, and here it is. Record of grades emailed for, okay, and this is the summary of what we did, but that's not what I was looking for. And click here. This is my grade. So this is what the students will see. Your grade is 2 out of 3, 66%, and then it gives them all the information that they input. Tells them everything that they did. Okay, so you can go ahead and have the students, write this down in their journal, their notebook, whatever it is, and then they can go ahead and correct it. And if that's your policy, give them a higher grade for them making mistakes. From this point forward, there will be a code word embedded somewhere in the video that you will need to use to submit a survey for me using a Google form. Each video training that you complete will be worth half an hour of professional development unless stated otherwise. For Mission CISD, I am Armando Sierra, your District Instructional Technology Strategist, leading the way to a more technology-minded district.